We need a great reset.
Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
Well, here's another moment. Today would have been a great New World Order Fantasy League day because we are hearing directly from Klaus Schwab. Fortune.com. 3 Keys to a Resilient Post-Pandemic Recovery by Klaus Schwab and Bob Sternfels.
Oh, good. Now we can read his exact writings, repeat them on the internet, and then be told that we're conspiracy theorists for 5 years until then suddenly it's not.
Okay, the whole Build Back Better thing, let me just play it to get the rhythm of things.
Build back better. Build back better. Build back better. We will build Babylon better. This time, a new world order.
The global economy has demonstrated significant resilience through the pandemic, bouncing back faster than expected. Economic momentum remains strong, but nations and organizations are encountering cross currents in supply chains, workforce availability, and inflation. The pandemic response comes in the context of a worsening climate crisis and rising economic inequality. These compound challenges remind us that crisis can become watersheds of policy and strategy. Oh, you mean problem, reaction, solution, order out of chaos? That's what this sounds like.
Yeah.
Indeed, the foundation of future growth are often laid as societies respond to the weaknesses crises expose. At this juncture, our recovery's success is still not assured. History shows that in times of disruption, resilience depends on adaptability and decisiveness, which, by the way, he has completely hijacked that resilience word. You know, our friend Greg over at All About God, he's been doing the resilient truth thing, you know, trying to inform other believers and pastors and things to be resilient on the internet and things like that. But, you know, we knew sooner or later Klaus was going to hijack that, but here he is. Resilience. Once the most acute period of the pandemic subsides, a resilience agenda will become the key to future prosperity. To build a better future, the emphasis must now shift from defensive measures and short-term goals to a sustainable, inclusive growth agenda. Growth is a precursor to economic development. A sustainable, inclusive growth agenda will focus on growth that supports the health and repair of the natural environment while improving the livelihood of wider population segments. We need to find pathways to a genuinely better society so that our actions make our planet and our economies more resilient and secure. A lot of good words there. But how can leaders meet this resilience challenge to achieve sustainable, inclusive growth? Getting there will depend on effectively and holistically addressing the conditions of our economies and societies, and crucially, their interrelationships, climate, healthcare, labor needs, supply chains, digitization, finance, and inequality and economic development. 3 considerations suggest the path forward. So here's number 1. Public and private sector leaders need to take a broad view of the resilience agenda. Wow, can you be more vague, Klaus?
Right.
What does that mean? I don't even want to read this because it's the same kind of like jargon.
Yeah.
So we're not going to read it. But okay, all right. They need to take a broad view of the resilience agenda, whatever that means, Klaus. Number 2. Strategies and structures have to be designed for flexibility and speed. That sounds logical enough, I guess. Flexibility and speed they are good attributes for any.
You know what flexibility and speed is not associated with?
What?
Democracy. That's the that's the criticism of democracy, is that it's too slow and inflexible because you're always changing. You know, nobody has absolute power.
Right.
It's all votes. It's all legislative.
There's a process that must be honored. Yeah.
Process. It's not, it's a big ship that moves very slowly.
But Basil,
so he's advocating for anti-democratic characteristics.
Well, you know why? The pandemic, did you not notice that the COVID-19 pandemic changed everything? He says here,
who needs democracy?
I'll read part of this. The initial approach to stopping the spread aimed at eliminating the virus completely is now being rethought. Unless you're, who was it? who was saying that? We were just talking about them. Anyway, China, unless you're China. When circumstances change, so too must the response of business and government. To face uncertainty, our organizations have to be flexible and always learning. These attributes will weigh more in our solutions than defensive economic buffers. The key answer in the financial crisis of 2007 and 8. The new stance allows us to respond to supply chain discontinuities, technological leaps, and societal changes. More value is placed on anticipating disruptions and trends than in developing detailed budgets and plans. Wow, he's really taking on the Silicon Valley, build, break, learn, whatever that, I can't remember the exact terminology there, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Where they don't really care too much about like legislation or laws or rules. They more sort of push the limits and then, kind of walk themselves backwards.
Right. It's kind of the ask for permission. I'm sorry, ask for forgiveness instead of permission.
Right. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Mm-hmm.
This is number 3. Beyond building resilience in business and the economy, public and private leaders must also build societal resilience.
It's all just mumbo jumbo.
This guy is just has too much time on his hands.
He's a content machine like Michael Spencer.
He is.
He's just like, I don't know, I got to put something out there. Resilience.
The big thing here for companies, the adoption of environmental, social, and governance ESG standards and metrics can help optimize strategy for positive societal impacts. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, meow, 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 I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
So there you go. Klaus just, ranting on. This isn't his best work, I would say, but
no,
he hadn't
great.
been heard
I thought
in a
it was
while.
going to be much more.
I know.
Yeah.
Disappointing, but I didn't expect much.
Yeah. I have a quick update on Jeff Zucker.
Okay.
I resent the fact that I didn't have this when we were in the right section, because now on the Clips channel it'll be all messed up. But Al Jazeera put out an article about Jeff Zucker.
Oh no.
That says Jeff Zucker, who helped propel Trump to power, resigns from CNN.
What?
Yeah, Jeff
What?
Zucker, the United States television executive whose programming decisions helped cement Donald Trump's status as a pop culture icon and propel him to the White House, is resigning as president of CNN, blah, blah, blah. Meow, meow, meow. And then further down, then they just say the stuff we already know. But then they go into this whole thing. Under Zucker, CNN stretched the definition of breaking news to drip feed developments and outright speculation surrounding stories viewers became hooked on, such as the 2014 disappearance of Malaysian airline flight MH370. The wall-to-wall coverage led to some bizarre on-air moments. CNN anchor Don Lemon asked an aviation expert whether the airliner could have disappeared into a black hole, to which the guest responded, quote, "A small black hole would suck in our entire universe. So we know it's not that." But the biggest ratings juggernaut on Zucker's watch was the candidacy and then presidency of Donald Trump. Zucker's involvement with Trump predated his time at CNN. During his turn...
Man, this whole thing was a ruse.
During his turn as head of CNBC Entertainment, Zucker greenlit The Apprentice, a reality TV show Donald Trump hosted for 14 years. Did you know that? Jeff Zucker was the guy who greenlit The Apprentice?
I did not know that. It sounds kind of familiar as like some knowledge, if you're really into the Trump thing, but yeah.
Yeah,
not
so
surprising.
Zucker,
the elite, man. It's the elite.
It's the
Trump
elite.
is
It's one big club, man. It's a fake divide that they've created.
People have made this point, but he did have a reality TV show where he divided people.
Yeah,
he does know how that works.
Zucker saw ratings gold in the real estate mogul turned reality TV star in a crowded field of Republican candidates. Zucker devoted outsized airtime to Trump, even going so far as to broadcast his rallies in their entirety. Wow. Yeah, this is just a full takedown of Zucker as the guy who made Donald Trump the popular icon that he is, and then took over CNN and continued to profit off of Trump, who he created.
Yeah.
It's incredible. All right, but that's off topic.
Yeah, I guess it is off topic. Let me just mention this before we go into our second break. Real quick, as part of the World Economic Forum, which Klaus is part of, which we just read Klaus's boring 3 keys to resilient post-pandemic recovery, which gave us no hope because, we're hoping he finds Jesus. That'd be great. Wouldn't it be great if Klaus just suddenly is like saved and he's like talking Jesus?
What's the article, though?
Okay.
We gotta go, man.
AnalyticsIndiaMag headline here. As investments pour in, World Economic Forum brings out first quantum computing guidelines.
Oh, that's funny.
WEF said that the governance principles are grouped into 9 themes and fall under a set of 7 core values and blah, blah, blah. They get into the whole thing. We'll have the notes and you guys can dig in if you want. It is interesting to see that the World Economic Forum trying to be the police officers of quantum computing. Mm-hmm. There are some interesting things. I don't want to get into it, but how they have to. The rules they're setting is that you have to use it with old computing, and you can't. There's like ways that they're basically saying you can't hoard it. We'll see if that actually works out. But is that because you, World Economic Forum, or maybe Klaus has the first quantum machine and he has all the power to change reality? The other headline
probably means he doesn't have it. When somebody else has it, they want it.
Yeah. The other headline here from the Straits Times: Bill Gates invests in carbon capture startup after tech breakthrough. Yeah. So Bill Gates spreading around his money a little more on more ESG, sustainable development technology.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep, just keeping track.